Greetings. We're in the middle of Lent. We are right in the middle of Lent this week. And so I'm bringing you another reflection from Steven Charleston's book, Spirit Wheel Meditations from an Indigenous Elder. This one is called Justice Never Bends to Fear, and it's on page 203 if you have the book. Justice never bends to fear. Beware of any generation that seems lost without a leader. That search may become a dangerous thing to do. A society that is fearful, money-worried, anxious for order, hungry for law, a nation of wall builders accustomed to war, watching enemies without and enemies within, afraid its glory will fade. Longing for the strong man grows ever so quietly while people look the other way. Help us, O Spirit, not to flirt with forces so ancient and so evil. Rather, let us put our trust in you, that justice never bends to fear, nor freedom to false gods of power. I think this has something to say to us Christians, and especially this week in Lent. So in this last Sunday's gospel, we heard the story of Jesus in the temple turning over the tables of the money changers, right? And this is this moment of Jesus expressing anger because the religious authorities have become corrupt, and there is graft and just corruption right there in the temple. And Jesus is very upset about it. And so he turns over the tables and drives out the animals and so on. And that's this gesture of, that looks like power and, it's a little bit violent. And if we're looking for a strongman leader, we might go, yeah, that's what we want, right? Burn it down and build it new, better. And we feel that way sometimes. We do. Then in next week's reading, this coming Sunday, that is, we hear the passage that surrounds that famous passage of John 3:16, right? So just as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, so must the Son of Man be lifted up. And of course, he's talking about the crucifixion. The disciples in the storyline at that point don't necessarily know that. But he says then, remember, for God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him might be saved. That's 3:16. And 3:17, for the Son of Man came into the world not to condemn the world, but that the world might be saved through him. It's a story not of condemnation, but of love. It's a story not of violence and power, but of that which is deeper. The victory of Jesus comes only through defeat on the cross. That's the only way. And we Christians and everybody, we're just like everybody, we fall into that deep desire for someone to just come and fix it. It's broken, whatever it is, however you want to define that. It's broken, somebody come and fix it. And so for us, we're like, Jesus, come and fix this. And there are images out there of Jesus as a strong man, as a, I'm going to come and fix it. And that's held up in some Christian circles as like, this is the solution. Jesus is my strongman leader or whatever. But that's not true to the gospel, right? Because Jesus' victory was only in worldly defeat, And the same is true today, right? We want somebody to come and fix it. It's a mess. And that's not what Jesus is about. Jesus is never about that dominating, fear-based, power over kind of victory. That is based, like I said, deep deep in fear. Fear of what happens, fear of people who are different from me, fear of the unknown. And that's not what Jesus is about. I love this last line, this last phrase of this reflection. Help us, O Spirit, not to flirt with forces so ancient and so evil. Rather, let us put our trust in you, that justice never bends to fear, nor freedom to false gods of power. It's Lent, it's the middle of Lent. Let us continue to put our trust in God, to put our trust in Jesus, that justice never bends to fear, nor freedom to false gods of power. And may God bless you in that effort of putting trust in God, putting trust in Jesus. Blessings on your Lent.